Hello, welcome, and welcome back to Heretic Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey. So, it's April. These messages really are, kind of whenever you see them, but I do tend to do them at least monthly. So this month we're using the Work Your Light Oracle deck, and then we're using the Wandering Moon Tarot for additional information. We'll get an Oracle card for the overall vibe, and then of course pull 6 tarot cards and see what the vibe is. I have my little bowl here of all of the zodiac, all of the human design profile numbers. I'm just gonna pick one. All right, let's see who's next. 5-2. Alrighty. Nope. Backwards. So, if you've seen any of these readings before, or of course if you are new here, welcome. But I generally I like to have some sort of like content or something to give like a new perspective of the profile. So I do have that this time, but I'm going to link the article in the description below. The tricky part is like remembering to do that. I already forgot to do that for the 4-1 profile, but I just added it. It only took me like 12 hours to remember, but better late than never. Anyway, so it's an article that I found on the Jovian Archive website, and it's from the perspective of a 2-5 projector, which is cool. So they basically just go through each line, like 1 through 6. And obviously, I mean, you would want to find the 2 lines associated with your profile and read about those. So, and it's, it's like a paragraph long. It's not very long, but anyway, I just, I thought that was cool. And I enjoyed the article myself. So I will, like I said, I will link that in the description below. So we have transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Wow. That's pretty major. We're going to get the rest of the tarot cards out, and then we'll talk about it. We just need 6 cards. We have the full moon. Interesting, because today is a full moon. I'm doing this on the date of the Libra full moon. The Star and 7 of Cups in the reverse. The 5 of Wands. The Empress and 8 of Stars, or 8 of Pentacles. And then the Chariot at the bottom of the deck. So I want to read from the book on this card. It says, things are changing at a cellular level. You are not who you were a year ago or who you will soon be. You are in between, emerging, half risen, half falling. Keep doing the work. You are transforming. You will look back at this time with awe. So much is happening in your inner world and within your cells. It's time to release old ways of being that have kept you in fight, flight, freeze mode. To choose a new way of being where trauma is not the driving force. Old childhood patterns are rising up to be healed. as you allow yourself to observe them and feel them without attachment, they loosen their grip and fall away. You are being called to find new ways to self-soothe. Saturn and the Black Madonna and the African goddess Oshan influence this card. Saturn represents destruction and transformation. The Black Madonna represents the underground and all that has been cast aside. And Oshan represents the tender love of the original mother. A rethreading is happening, healing at the deepest of levels. While you are in this phase, don't put yourself under pressure to perform. You may need to review your relationship with your body, perhaps even shifting your diet or exercise regime, or getting energetic healing support. You may also need to consider some kind of emotional support, as issues from your childhood may come up to be healed. You are deeply loved. Work your light activation. Hold the card at your heart, which I know you can't do, but you can put your hands there and say out loud, or of course to yourself, I allow myself to receive the deepest healing and transformation for change to happen at a cellular level. I love that. Definitely, like, I could just end the message right here with that, because I feel like this whole thing is just, perfect. Even like when the cards were coming out, it felt so clear to me that obviously, there is a healing going on. This is very personal. So let's just start at the beginning. Like I said, we have this full moon card, and I'm going to be releasing this today on the full moon in Libra. And, of course it would depend on where Libra falls in your chart, but this full moon has a lot to do with relationships, and it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. Of course, it could be, your friendships, your acquaintances, your family, biological or chosen, your work, But I kept like staring at this keyhole here in this moon. And, of course, there's not a key on this card. So, the feeling that I kept getting is looking for a key to something, whether that's unlocking something within yourself or, this card talks a lot about inner child stuff. And what is so interesting too is that I feel like I cannot catch my breath in this reading. So I always, like, when I sit down to do a reading, and of course I'm using the bowl now, right, to like choose who's going to go next. So I don't really know when I sit down at the table who I'm going to be reading for, but I sit down here, I shuffle both decks a ton, and just get myself grounded, get the cards grounded, right, like get them ready to do the reading. And it kind of started then, like I just cannot catch my breath, and then I have to like take deep breaths. And even when I was like reading that, I was kind of starting to feel insecure, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be huffing and puffing all over this reading. Like, what is up with that? So I don't know, like if there's something going on with you and breathing, or if it's just a message to like return to your breath. Obviously, like we breathe every day, right? We have to in order to survive. It's just, an automatic mechanism within our body. And, like we just kind of, I don't want to necessarily say like take it for granted, but we don't ever really pay attention to our breathing unless, like I'm doing right now, I my breathing has changed, right? And I'm like, what's going on with that? So, and I also love that the book was talking about, like returning to your body. There's so much going on here. So, full moons are also about releasing. Like, is there a pattern of behavior, a pattern of thinking that you can release, right? Like, and that's kind of what inner child work is all about. It's following the breadcrumbs back to the root of something that makes you who you are, like your identity, your personality, your character. Like, how did I become who I am today, right? And also, like, does that fit with who I believe myself to be? And you just kind of start peeling away the layers of that onion, right? So again, like, there's this key here that you have been looking for. I mean, it could even just be like, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moons on that card. So it could be that this keyhole has recently showed up. Like, maybe you have uncovered something, or you are very close to that. And the 5 of Wands is about conflict. Fives in general are kind of conflict, transitionary cards, which is interesting because it is very transformative. It's getting you from one place to the next, but like in the midst of that change is a bit of conflict, a bit of worry. This could be, like something that you're uncovering having to do with somebody else. It could have been a conflict that you've had with somebody else, a disagreement, argument. Wands are fire. So there could be a fire sign involved. There doesn't have to be. But fire is all about like our motivations. It's also the actions that we take around our creativity, around our passions. It's how we communicate those things. It's also information, because as we try stuff, we learn what works, we learn what doesn't, we learn what we like, we learn what we don't like. And there is some conflict or competition involved in that sometimes. But the 5 of Wands, I always see it like, I always think of Mulan. Okay, I love Mulan. The cartoon. I liked the movie too, but I like the cartoon. And when they're at warrior training, right? And like at first they all suck. It's terrible, right? Like what's his name? Oh, I'm drawing a blank. No. I feel like somebody out there is like saying his name. I can't think of it. The prince or whatever. Oh, anyway. He's like, oh my gosh. I can't turn these people into warriors, right? But then they start training. Like they learn to work together. And that whole purpose of going through that training and conditioning is to get them to a point of being successful, which is the 6 of Wands, which I know we don't have out here on the table, but the 6 of Wands is about victory and success. After a battle, or after, like a hard time or turbulent times. This could even be that the key here is speaking your truth. like not being afraid to cause conflict, or I almost said like muddy the waters, and that's not really the that's what I wanted to say. But then the image in my head is like when you drop a stone into you know calm water and it has like the ripple effect. That's what I meant. And I love that we have the Star and the Empress together. Like, oh my gosh. Are you joking right now? The Star is Aquarius. The Empress is Libra or Taurus. But they have the Libra symbol right there. But it's Venus. And Venus rules over, Taurus and Libra. So I kind of love the synchronicity between the full moon and the Libra card coming out because, like I said, today is a Libra full moon. And then the Chariot is Cancer. So that could have some significance. Doesn't have to. But the Star talks about faith and hope. There's a big trust the process vibe with the Star card. And even, like being the center of attention. And that's even kind of what I was saying, like with this combo over here about needing to speak your truth. And, like showing yourself exactly as you see yourself. And I know that it's even kind of hard for like a personality or a conscious fifth line because people are just, they're not going to see it to a certain degree. That's kind of the thing with the fifth line too, is that people are going to see exactly what they want to see. Like, have you seen that meme or whatever that says, every person has a different version of you in their head based on their own projections, right? Like that is exactly. So I also think that like with a conscious fifth line, there's this amazing gift that comes with it of integrity, because it's like there's this opportunity, and this is even kind of what this whole message is saying, that to know yourself so effing deeply and so truly that nobody could tell you who you are. Regardless of like what centers you have, defined or not. Regardless of what type you are, regardless of your definition, like there is this gift of knowing yourself, because you have to. There have been so many times where somebody was like, I'm in conflict with somebody and they're like yelling things at me and telling me that I'm being a certain way. And I'm like, I remember I had a boyfriend years ago that did this very thing. Like, we're having a conflict. My friend was there. His friend was there. And he's like yelling at me, all of these things. You're this, you're that. And I look at my friend and she's looking at me like, I don't know, girl. It turns out she's a 5'1" too. But, and I literally said to him, and this is before I even knew anything about human design, but I literally said to him, I'm like, am I a mirror? Because literally every single thing that you just said I am is everything that you are. Those are all the things that you do, which is crazy because like you can somehow recognize it, and project it onto me, but you can't see it like within yourself. We broke up actually like a day later. So anyway, like, there is this opportunity, and even with the Empress card, to know yourself well. And that also allows you to show up exactly as you are. Because too, it's like I had this feeling when these three cards came out that there's this recognition that you are coming up to, that you're not going to find the validation outside of yourself. You have to find this validation for yourself and this like worth for yourself within yourself. And the Empress here with this flower in the middle, it's clearly, right? I mean, like being literal, like this blossoming thing going on here, blossoming into yourself, right? And the Empress, like that, the Empress is a divine feminine. It's not the gender, so you don't have to be gender female, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word to put, or the way to put it. But it's the energy of the divine feminine, which is being in the flow, intuition, receiving, nurturing. The Empress also like creates a space, creates opportunity for reproduction. And that doesn't have to be biological. Like it doesn't have to be, like extending a family. It can be, because generally the Empress is pregnant on the traditional tarot, but it's more about like reproduction of abundance, reproducing the abundance in your life or opportunities. And I love this combo because again, it's like reaching for your dreams, reaching for a goal. And then the grounding with the Empress, like this would be the manifestation of that. That's beautiful. And then we have the Seven of Cups in the reverse, and the Seven of Cups generally talks about options, kind of like reviewing our options, like how do we feel about the options or possibilities within our life. It can be even a bit overwhelming, like if there are a lot of things, and you kind of can get stuck in analysis paralysis. This is also very much emotional body too, and I know like the book even kind of mentions the body. It can be a bit daydreamy. And too, like what's interesting is that all of these cards on the top um, are all, it's like reaching for something, or because there's nothing that's actually in any one of these hands up here. But down here, the bottom row, there's wands in these hands, there's a flower between these hands, there's a needle in this hand. So I find that to be really interesting. But the Seven of Wands the Seven of Moons in the reverse would say that you're coming to a point where you're not indecisive. You're coming to a point where you are done with whatever is like in those cups. Because it has a Marie Kondo effect, right? Where you keep what makes you feel good and you release what doesn't make you feel good. What brings you joy and what doesn't. Even if that's like a piece of furniture or clothes, or like it can be anything, of course, tangible, but it could be something emotionally. Like, is there some sort of thought pattern that you get stuck in that doesn't make you feel good about yourself, but it also prevents you from taking a risk or like moving forward with something? And that would be something to release with this full moon. And we release with the full moons in order to welcome in new stuff with the new moons. And the new moon is on the 19th, I believe. And then, like, I love that this is paired with the Eight of Pentacles, because this is the body. This is our physical body. Pentacles have to do with money, how we get it, how we spend it, how we save it, how we invest it. It has to do with our time, how we get it, how we spend it, how we save it, and our physical body. It's like literally anything in the 3D, anything that you can tangibly touch, anything monetary, anything that has monetary value. And with the Eight of Pentacles, it's again like, what are you focusing your resources, your time, and your physical body doing? This is also, like focusing your attention into a thing in order to become proficient in it. And did the book say literally something about threading? I feel like it did. A re-threading is happening. Healing at the deepest of levels. While you are in this phase, don't put yourself under pressure to perform. You may need to review your relationship with your body, perhaps even shifting your diet and exercise regime, or getting energetic healing support. That's like this card here. I'm very like anti-diet. This channel has no room for, like fad diets or, whatever. So anytime like I see the word diet, I like have to like disclaimer it, but it's more about, like we know what is quote unquote healthy or not. I mean, I don't put a moral value on like food. But anyway, like if there are areas in your life that you can make little switches in order to support yourself, even energetically, for this transition, like the book was saying. But I love that it said that there's this re-threading that's happening. And there's literally a needle and thread in this hand here. So you might just be feeling like you are slowly kind of being put back together, or you will be feeling that way. And you do need a ton of grace with that, a ton of compassion, a ton of rest. If you can get Reiki support, that would be awesome. If you're in Colorado Springs, I have an amazing Reiki master I can I can refer you to. And then we have the Chariot. So it's like this whole thing is happening, and at the end of it, the Chariot is like fast moving. It's movement forward, and it's almost like divine guidance. Like it's like you are going to be taken wherever you need to be took by the powers that be. But also it's like if you feel like you've been in a place where there hasn't been a ton of movement forward, or if you're just kind of feeling a bit antsy, this card is showing up to let you know that it's coming. Like, the movement that you've been looking for, the movement forward, will be showing up for you. And actually, I'm going to sidebar here because I feel like I just got like flicked in the back of my head to remember. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate you sticking around with me. And if you haven't done so already, I would love if you liked the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Leave a comment, even if it's just an emoji. I love emojis. But my energy is focused on growing the channel, and I can't do that without you. So any help with that is appreciated. And I'm eternally grateful for that. Okay. So, and then we have another Cups card. We have the Knight of Cups. This is an offer. Yeah, I mean, this is the Knight of Moons is generally like this is a knight in shining armor card of the tarot. Now, this could be you offering your cup to somebody else. It could be somebody offering their cup to you. And of course, like, I mean, it could be in any area of your life. Of course, you know, moons having to do with our emotions and love and how we're feeling and feeling good. So it could be a romantic offer. You could meet somebody, or somebody that you currently know could want to take things to another level. It could be a job. It could be an apology. And then we have the Four of Cups. And actually, I want to read the book on this one because I can't even tell you the last time I saw the Four of Cups come out in a reading. And I know what it means, obviously, but I love to read the little booklets that come with tarot because it just broadens my understanding. Anyway, it says, I am the card of inaction. I will show myself when you feel stagnant and unproductive. However, you are uninspired. However, are you uninspired and in a state of lack? Or are you refusing to see an opportunity that is being offered? Upright, it says boredom, indifference, woefulness, lack of interest, and melancholy. So it's interesting because, I mean, the offer can come from a Cancer. It doesn't have to be. But it's almost like maybe whatever this offer is something that like would have maybe excited you before this transformation happened, but it doesn't excite you now. And that is growth. That is, you know, evolution. There's nothing wrong with that. We have the Seven of Wands, which is standing your ground, self-defense, defending your actions, defending what you're doing. We have the Four of Swords and the Magician. Yeah, I started getting this feeling that like with this combo, I started getting this feeling that again, right? Like this offer, and again, even if it was an apology, it's like it's not hitting the same as it used to. And you know, it might just be one of those things where it shows up in your life and you recognize it as an old pattern and you're like, you know what? No, that's not what I want anymore. And I'm going to hold out. Like, I know that something different or something better is coming. So you're going to stand your ground. The Four of Swords talks about rest. And this literally, like when I saw it, I heard this message in my head, don't worry. I mean, like this person even kind of looks like they're meditating. So It could be an invitation to like meditate on what you are manifesting here with the star card. You know, like co-create in the 5D, like get out there, you know, energetically, and, you know, really get clear on what it is that you're looking to manifest with the Four of Swords. And then the Magician, which is a new beginning. This would be something that it's like it's going to utilize all of your skills. It's going to be compatible with your skills, because the Magician has everything. It has the sword, it has the pentacle, the cup, and the wands. So it's like whatever it is, whatever this new thing is for you, and again, it could be a person, it could be a job, it could just be like within yourself, but it's going to be like the complete package, literally, because it's going to have, you know, like all of the elements that you are looking for in a thing. And then we have the World card, which is the end of a cycle, the end of a journey. It would be like even that the completion or like the culmination of your transformation journey. Like you will see that it's like, holy crap, you know, I went through this whole process, really, really stuck to, you know, what I believe I deserve, what I know I deserve. I didn't worry about it. I just kept, you know, like believing that it's possible. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.